but I'm Jose Fernandez, and I grew up in Virginia, but I was born in LA. But I was just born there, and I was there for like a year, and then we moved to Virginia. So I basically grew up in Virginia, in North Carolina, which is the best. And then after that, I moved to Chicago, and I've been here ever since. How I got into modeling was I was dating one of my friends from school, and his aunt was actually the oh god, I'm like blacking out right now. She is the agent. There you go. She was the agent, and we went to a barbecue party, and so she met me there, and I was still losing weight, so I was still kind of chubby, like a little chubby baby face, and she just liked the way I would pose in a picture, just the way I would, you know, move my body language and stuff like that. She really liked it, and I thought she was joking. And she was like, "Oh, I want you to model for me." I was like, "Haha, it's funny. Yeah, sure, me as a model, whatever." And so then she's like, "Yeah, give me your phone number. We can get in touch, whatever." And then I gave her my number, and I thought it was a joke, you know, 'cause she's Irish, so she drinks a lot, and she was a little bit tipsy. And we were there, and like a week later, she called me, and she's like, "Oh, I want you to be my model." I was like, "Are you serious?" And we started, and she got in contact with one of her photographers, Lisa Franco, which she did most of my photo shoots, and she's the one that gave me the very last one. And we did a couple of test shoots at her studio and stuff like that, and then after that, it flourished. I did some print, some runway, but mostly just print. And it was pretty cool. It was interesting. It was for meeting people. That's how I started. I never really applied or like set resumes or any photo covers or anything like that. It was just, I was basically discovered. Because at first I was really shy. I wouldn't really approach people as much as I do now. So you have to know how to speak to people and confront them, you know, because if you're shy, then you can't really interact with the people around you. Growing in a southern state where you're literally, you can count Latinos, you're not really exiled, but you're not really the same as everyone. Like, people would do different things, and then they would talk about shows that I wouldn't watch because we wouldn't do those things at home. And so that was really shy. I was like, oh, what if they don't talk about the same things that I talk about, or like the same foods or anything like that. So that's why I was really shy. And then as I did modeling, I met more people, and I got into the shows and the things they did. And so I was very Americanized regardless, but I was very Mexicanized at the same time because of my family, you know? And so then modeling, I met people at parties and stuff like that, and I got into the things I got into, and I had more topics to talk about other than just like, oh, Mexican, you know? Not very interesting. I mean, to them it was, because it wasn't really a lot of Mexicans there. So they were like, oh, do you speak Mexican? It's like, I speak Spanish. But yeah. Modeling is pretty cool. It helped my self-esteem, but also at the same time it was kind of like a downer. Because it made me self-conscious. It made me want to look a certain way and what I should do and how to get there, you know. So it's pretty cool personality-wise, but when it comes to yourself, it kind of destroys you a little bit. You know, you have to know how to control it. Basically, they would tell me, oh, you're a little bit too chubby still. So then I took diet pills, and they worked to a certain point. You know, they got me a lot of losing weight, and then my family noticed I was losing too much weight, so they took them away. And I was stuck on the fact that I wasn't skinny enough, you know. And so then I started vomiting. It led me to be bulimic for a while. My family didn't know, but then they eventually noticed, you know. I was still losing weight, and then like every time I would eat, I would go to the bathroom, and they were like, why is he doing that? So because of modeling, I actually did become bulimic, and that's something that's not very, people shouldn't do, because you have to look a certain way. You have to do anything possible to look that way, you know. And then I wouldn't work out because they wanted me to have a very androgynous look, so just petite, not very muscular, stuff like that. So they never really forced me, thank God. You just imagine if they would have like, oh, you need to bulk up now. And just like, oh, it's terrible. But I don't think I would have gone that low, simply because it's scary. You know, bulimia is kind of scary. You force yourself to vomit, and then those like consequences afterwards. You may not see them now, but there's a lot of bad things, you know. Tooth decay or erosion of your esophagus, and it's really bad. Oh, I saw myself back then. If I were to look at a picture of me now, I would literally blush and be embarrassed, I guess. When I was chubby, I didn't really care, you know. I was out there, I was funny, you know. I didn't really care. But then, and that was before I came out. So coming out and modeling had to do a lot with my weight loss. Like I realized, okay, I'm gay. A lot of the guys who are gay are skinny and really good looking, you know. And then I'm here really chubby, not really dressing nicely. So I liked myself who I was, but I didn't like myself physically. And if you're not happy with yourself physically, you're not really gonna be happy. So if I were to gain weight now, I don't know, like I don't want to sound bitchy or selfish or, you know, conceited, but I don't want to gain weight, because when I gain weight I would have to really select clothing and go to a certain store because it wouldn't fit me. And for you to shop for clothes that don't fit you because you're fat is kind of upsetting, you know? Like you want to wear skinny jeans and look nice, not wear skinny jeans and look like a sausage being pulled up. So being skinny makes me happy because I love clothes. Like I have so many pairs of clothes, it's ridiculous. I don't even know where to put them anymore. And by me being skinny, I think I have a more variety of picking clothes, you know? And then it's kind of funny because I am like the smallest person. Nobody fits my jeans at all. And that's pretty funny. But yeah, like if losing weight helped me a lot, I think I would have been a little bit sad if I were to still be chubby. You know, it would have been harder to find guys. Like not that I have a type or anything like that, but you know, like I don't know, like the guys that I find attractive wouldn't find me attractive if I were fat, you know? So that's good. And then that's basically it. Just, you know, a lot of coming out and modeling made me lose weight. We're at the zoo. Hi.
Hi.
What are we gonna look at today?
Birds.
Birds. So yeah, we're at the zoo. We're gonna have a fun day today.
I want food. Where's the food at?
It's all the way that way.
Is it open?
I don't know, but let's look at this exhibit first. My boyfriend, my dating life, well, his name is Dominic, and we met in downtown when I was shopping for clothes, and I dropped something. He gave it to me, and he's like, "Oh, you dropped this." I was like, "Oh, thank you." And then he has a very interesting look to him. He has blonde eyebrows and blonde hair, and immediately I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. A guy who can pull this off, you know." And I was like, oh, he's really cute, you know, like big old eyes, and he's really tall, and I like that he's really tall. And we met, and he was really slick. He was like, "Oh, so what are you doing here? What brings you here?" I was like, "Oh, I'm just shopping for clothes." Obviously something I would do, right? And then we were just walking around the store, and then I had to leave, so he was like, "Oh, you should text me sometime." I was like, "Yeah, sure, sounds good." And he's like, "So, can I have your number?" And I was like, "Of course, and how are you gonna text me?" So then we started texting, and we were talking for like a week because he lived far. And then our very first date, we went to Bucktown, or Wicker Park, and we went to a little cute bakery / restaurant thing. It was really cool. And then we were there walking, we were eating, we were just walking at stores, looking at things, and we went to the Walgreens, Milwaukee and Damon, that one that used to be a bank. And I was like, "Oh, I've never been in here, let's go in here." So we went in there, and we were in the vault, and I was just being so interested that I was, you know, it was a bank and this huge door. It was really cool. And then it was really unexpected, and it was like a movie because I was just wandering my own, you know, like doing my own thing, and then he just looked at me and turned around and kissed me. And he just did it so casually, like as if nothing happened. He just walked away as if he never kissed me, and I was like, in my mind, I was like, "Oh my god, did he just kiss me?" You know, it was like so perfect, so unexpected. And I was like, "Oh, like I really like him," you know? And then we just kept on our day, and then we kept talking for like a week more, and then he slept over one time. And then we woke up in the morning, he was really quiet, and I was like, "Oh god, what did I do?" And then he asked me, "Would you like to be my boyfriend?" And I got really cheesy. And then I said yes. And he's like, "Okay, good. I thought you were going to say no." And I was like, "Why would you think that?" And I was like, "Because you're so good looking, you act a certain way. I wouldn't expect you to date someone like me." And I was like, "You're perfect, you know, like your personality is amazing." And then he took a picture of us. And we were in our pajamas. I was looking a hot mess with my glasses on, and he was looking a hot mess. And I was gonna post it on Instagram, but I didn't because it's something personal, and I don't want to post something as personal like that on Instagram. But it was really cute, and it makes me really happy. I don't think I've loved anybody as much as I love him, and I've loved, but I've never been in love. And being in love is such a strong thing. I never thought I would be in love with somebody as much as I am with him. Eating at Nookie's. It's really good.
Too much burger.
This is my soup. What are you eating?
Caesar salad.
Yummy. The relationship with my family is quite interesting, but everyone has problems. But my relationship with my dad, I don't speak to him because when I came out, he told me that I was dead to him. That he was dead and that he didn't want to know anything about me, and that's hard, you know. And to myself, I thought it shouldn't be this hard. My parents are divorced. I don't live with them. But it's hard, you know. You want your dad to accept you. And for you to be the only guy, especially in a Latino family, they want you to be masculine and marry and have kids and carry on the family name. And my dad's family is very old-fashioned. They accept me because my uncle, his brother is gay. So for him not to accept me it was like a sucker punch to the gut. It was like, your brother's gay, but you can't accept your own son. Eventually, it took him like about a month to talk to me again. And till this day, I mentioned my boyfriend. He's like, oh, what are you doing? I'm with my boyfriend. He changes the topic immediately. He knows I'm gay. He accepts it. But it seems like he doesn't want to be involved in it. Now, my mom is completely different. She knows I'm gay, and she knew for the longest time. And when I came out to her, I was drunk, out of my mind, and I wasn't living with them. I haven't lived, when my parents divorced, I didn't live with them for about 3 years. I lived with my aunt and uncle. And when I was living with them, I called her, I was drunk, and I was like, okay, it's about time for me to tell my parents. My uncle and aunt know. It's time for my real parents to know. So I called her and I was drunk. And I told her, I'm gay. If you don't like it, go stick it up your butt, whatever. And I was so drunk and I was talking so vulgar. But I was scared more than anything, not because I wanted to be rude. And then she said, I know. I've known for a long time. And then she said, call me when you're sober. So I did. And she was crying, and I was crying, you know. It's something very emotional coming out. You know, it's completely different. Your personality changes. You feel whole again, you know. My mom never really got along because when my parents divorced, she immediately got into the dating field very quickly. It was something that hurt. I wasn't ready for it. I was rebellious. I was basically took care of my sister while my mom was out partying. And you should never do that. To this day, me and my mom, we don't see eye to eye on everything. When we fight, we do argue a lot still. Like, not as much anymore because I understand a lot more of what happened, you know, of why she dated so young. But what I don't understand is why would you leave your kids alone, you know, in the middle of the night? You don't do that. And so I have a grudge towards my mother because of that. It made me and my sister grow up very quickly. And, for example, my sister had her period. And she didn't know what it was, and I did. And I feel that my mom should have been there to tell her. And I grew up very fast because of that. I cooked for my sister. We would go out with my sister and everything, and my mom would go out and not even take us, and that hurt me. And I don't want to have a grudge towards her because of that, but I don't think it's fair what she did. I'm living with her and I'm happy, yes, and I know she regrets what she did, and I'm thankful for that she sees so. But we don't see eye to eye because we just have different views. Very different views, you know? But regardless, she's my mother and I respect her. regardless of what she did. Back then, I used to not respect her. But she's my mom. She gave me life. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here, you know? And she's helped me a lot, actually, now. And versus my dad, she accepts my boyfriend and she encourages him to come over, you know, interact with my family. And I'm happy for that. That she doesn't say, you can't bring him over, oh, the baby, I don't want the baby. Because we have a baby sister. She doesn't say, oh, I don't want her to grow up with, like, a gay or anything like that. She tells the baby, that's Jose's boyfriend, you know, and I'm happy for that, you know, where even though she has old views or old customs, she's adapting to the new world because I want to be in a family where gay isn't just like, oh, he's gay. It's like nothing that comes to their mind, you know, it's just so normal that it's like whatever. And I'm happy for that, and I love my mother for that, for allowing my boyfriend to come over and sleep over and be with my family, you know.